Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Future Friday, we're going to talk about Hadrian, future of nation building. So let's dive deep into it. Now first we have to understand what the hell happened that we need to rebuild a nation. Well, reality is USA lost something very unique that people did not pay attention to. They lost the ability of tool makers itself. For example, Justin, he wanted to make basically a simple scrubber, and in that he needed a plastic injection mold. There are a lot of companies in USA that can do plastic injection molding. Here's the deal. That's the easy part. You just have an injector and you have a two metal clamps. Psh, good. Here's the deal. What about the molds? Yeah, that's not available. That's no longer available in basically USA. Almost all, if not every single one of them, comes from China. So that's a very serious gullibility and basically what you call fragility in their whole supply chain, like flat out. And this is a small plastic injection part. For other things, it is bad. So what actually happened is basically they lost the ability to make things that can make more things. Right, you do not start with like fully metal working milling machine, but you'd start with generally a small 3D printer. I'm talking like from a modern point of view. You start with a 3D printer, you make a plastic CNC machine. That plastic CNC machine barely works on aluminum. Then you use that aluminum to make a stronger CNC. That stronger CNC now can deal with steel, and with that steel now you make a better CNC machine. That's how it goes. Same goes with nation. Like you have to have the ability to build parts that make better parts, like tool making tools. So they lost that. And flat out, even if there is factories in America, it's like flat out all the things that go inside the factory, they're imported from China. Like you can have Tesla gigafactory, cool, awesome, GG. Yes, dear sir, where all those robotics are coming from? Yeah, China. That's again, it could be Germany, it could be Japan, but you get the point. Like it is not USA anymore. So that's a very serious what you call failure of a nation. Now when did it happen? Generally it says Nixon and opening everything to China without realizing. Basically everybody had this dumb idea. Is like, oh, what if we give them undesirable work? It's like you go through undesirable work to get to desirable work. You literally cut out the base of the ladder. And now, like, why people can't climb? You cut out the ladder. And China learned, like, again, if you do enough of a low grunt work, you have whole pipeline, you whole topology, and then climbing up becomes super easy for them. That same thing happened with American pharmaceuticals. They're like, hey, we're just gonna give them like grunt work and all that, and brick by brick. It's like it will take America to do 2-3 years to do something, and China can do the same thing with the same research paper in like freaking 7 to 8 months. So flat out, it was a massive failure of nation. And not only it created job loss, it also created foreign dependency. So you got double dipped a nation, meaning a nation that was making bombers like they were candy, tanks they're like, bro, like, is this saying? I do not know how true it is. It's just that at peak American manufacturing, they had more tanks than German had shells to boom it with. So flat out, it was like from a country that was that powerful to a country that leave boot prints on moon to like, yeah, this rust belt, so to say. Everything is gone. They cannot manufacture anything anymore. And flat out, if there is a war with China, yeah, they did. They basically will become like Russia, where it's like, can we have some parts? Can we have some spare parts? So this is a very bad situation, and this is what we call negative feedback loop, meaning once you lose one ability, you do not even know how quickly you will lose 2-3 more abilities, and it will cascade failure, and your whole nation is externally dependent, including defense sector. It's bad. Let's just put it that way. It is bad. So Hadrian comes in. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it's because it's one of the emperor name. So Christian Power, this gentleman, started this puppy in 2021. So it's a young puppy in USA. So the idea is to make a factory that makes more factories in USA. For example, if you want to make a robotic arm, you need a very precise parts. Everything else is available. You can have motors, you can have system like that. But what about that actual hand part? That's fully metal quality part. Yeah, they are like, I'm gonna take care of you. And their core focus, because again, it is an expensive thing. It is a expensive thing to do something in USA. They're not targeting on low cost stuff. They're directly targeting on critical stuff. Basically for things, money is no object. Because again, he said it very eloquently, is that let's just say you are building a part for a rocket. You might be like, okay, that part is, let's say, $1,000. No, it's $1 million part. Why? Here's the deal. What if you gave them the part and part did not fit, part did not work? What is the penalty then? let's say you lucked out and you have to catch it before it could damage the mission, and then you're like, what, you have scrubbed a launch, wasted millions of dollars. So that creates a scenario where money becomes a no object, meaning if they can give you quality certification like this part is accurate and they can give you quick enough, these are the two things. Money becomes free float, meaning it's like, hey, you can get this part made from China and it will cost you, let's say, $500. You can give us for $2,000. Like, who will do that? But yeah, we're gonna deliver it in 1 week. Shut up, take money. Actually, 1 week is too much. Their target is 2 days. Basically, once we get the CAD file, once we get the green light and we have the money, and money as in like, bidding is done, it's like done, you are actually gonna pay. Boom, 2 days, go. So flat out for critical stuff, because again, money is far flexible, like it's a free flowing tap in that sort of scenario. And they will make parts for you, which again, there are more than enough vendors that can do that. However, they're going to give you CMM validation, which again, vendors can do, but they are very constricted about that because it is difficult, and there are very few Americans left who know how to deal with CMM. He says that like for job recruiting, he barely found 100, barely. And again, USA is third largest population on the planet. CMM is a compulsory skill if you want to make high precision parts, computer coordinate measurement machines. So yeah, so he has a whole factory with CNC, VNC, lathe, EDM, 3D printing, everything that you need, and CMM. And the aim is to make a what we call lights house 24/7/365 manufacturing hub, so to say, with maximum automation and maximum vertical integration. Meaning, I get the CAD file, you get the part. Everything in between, I take care of it, including materials. Because again, if you are dealing with aerospace, you require fancy material. Like you can't just say basic aluminum. You have to have lithium, aluminum alloys. So they stock up on that part also. And lights out simply meaning when they go away, like after 5 p.m. I think they said that like everybody leaves, but here's the factory does not go down. Factory keeps running, light out. And end game is it works 24/7 into 365 into holidays. You do not have to worry, meaning if a national launch, because again, launch can happen on Christmas also, you have to make sure the parts are there. They're like, bro, we got you fam, you do not have to worry about it, we got you fam. So that's what they're aiming for. And again, they have robotics arms to take care of transportation. They are not dependent on human. Ideally, humans will only deal with the digital files. So the deal with their factory, this magical factory, is that aim is to make quality parts. There are more than enough factory that can make one thing millions of times. Done. Take it and go home. Nobody cares. There are more than enough factories that can make things for you, like machine shops and all that. But they cannot reach quality. Quality here is basically where you can specify micron level precision. Like if I say it is this much, it is this much. That's the hard part. Again, that's the same thing with injection molding. Weren't there machine shops that can create an injection molding mold? Yeah, not good enough for injection molding, because again, if the finish on the surface is not precise enough, you will not get proper plastic adhesion, or like it will behave wrongly, so to say. So, and again, it's not an issue if you are doing at home or something like that. It's a big ass issue if you want to, okay, I'm gonna injection mold, let's say DeWalt drill casing. Yeah, at that point in time, it's a big issue. So quality machines is the base of the foundation. They do not start with the cheapest machine. They start with a good machine. That's good. And here's the deal. This is where they go next step. They do complete tracking of consumables, meaning everything, every drill bit that comes in, it's tracked, it's put on a chuck, that chuck is tracked, and consumption of that drill bit is measured automatically. Because again, if you are a very skilled operator, you know that drill bit, let's just say it's a 5 millimeter. It's not actually 5 millimeter, it's a 5.1 millimeter. Let's just say after drilling, like no matter what you do, you will get 5.1 millimeter. Cool, awesome. Here's the deal. It will shrink. As the drill bit wears out, it will shrink. How much it will shrink? Well, you cannot risk on it. So what you will do is like, you will have a fresh drill bit for finishing pass, and the old worn out drill bit will do the hogging pass, where it's like, oh, that hogging pass you will do with the old ones, and the surface finish you will do with the new one. But here's the deal. This is done on a skill level. That's not a good idea for factory level, because that means if you have a good operator, you good. Parts are awesome. But if you have a new operator, parts are kaput. And that creates a very serious supply chain. Beginning, if you commit to someone, hey, we're going to give you a part. Let's say it's a national security part. Let's say it's a fighter jet part. You're like, okay, we're going to give you this part in, let's say 5 days. You can't deliver in 5 days because you changed the operator or operator went sync. That's not acceptable. So that's the whole point of this supply chain management. Everything is tracked, consumable included, and how it's being consumed. Meaning, not only they are figuring out how the drill bit is being consumed because they have a laser scanner just for that. They also have like, okay, which alloy, how quickly it's being consumed, because again, different alloy will behave differently. They have to know all of that so they do not waste part. They're like, okay, this is here, I'm gonna hog, and again, this material is a bit too gummy, for example. They're like, okay, let's take gentle passes, let's take our sweet time. Yes, it will throw away the drill bit, but that is far cheaper than throwing away a half-built part. So all of that, like full trackability. Again, it can be done, but generally not done because most factories are designed for one part, control C, control V million times. This time, because they are making a machine shop which is automated, it's a very, different topology, so to say. And robot heads for moving parts, not dudes. So the idea is, who takes out the material? Robot does. Who pulls out the material? Robot does. You do not require a human. And this part separates them from all other factories. Are there factories that can start to finish everything? Yeah, of course, but it's for fixed part, meaning you can go to Toyota. It's like, we have this car factory, it control C, control V cars, like, 1,000 times a day. No problem. Okay, ask that same plant to do anything else. It's like, nope. That's the whole difference here. It's like, do whatever you need to do. Of course, there will be limitation. Don't ask them to build an aircraft carrier. But like, okay, part of this dimension, we got this. It's like, I got this. You do not have to worry about it. Who's going to pull out the material? You do not have to worry about it. Who's going to put it in CNC machine number 1? Who's going to put it in VNC number 2? Who's going to do it to wire EDM? You do not have to worry about it. Robots is like, I got you. So that's what they are doing. And every system is standardized to work with each other without human in the loop. Meaning the machine should be able to stop the machine, take out the part, put it into a second machine and do the work, including coordinate measurement. Meaning humans should not be needed. Like that whole machine, like I put the part, put it in a plate goes into a system, CM machine actually validates the plate, and then you figure out the parts. Ta-da! No humans needed. Of course, humans will be observing it like a professor or principal, but like they're not doing it. And the core selling point is machinist skill should not affect the part. And again, that's how factories work, but that's not how machine shop. Machine shops are very dependent on the skill, because machines are dumb. But they are like, what if we give intelligence and create the pipeline that is no longer a variable? Like, do you want that? If you want critical delivery, yes. You cannot have, it's like, hey, we fired this this machinist and now we cannot deliver parts. It sounds good in YouTube short stories, but it's not desirable from a company's point of view. And again, from a nation point of view, like, what if something bad happens? Like, you do not want in the old days where they're like, hey, there are only 3 people in America that knows how to fold parachute for Apollo, so make sure all 3 are in separate places all the time. You do not want that. It sounds cool, but you do not want that. So what about the automation part? Software stacks means more than the hardware, because again, if the software is not good, hardware is not going to shine. So software stack of Hadrian is actually wise. Let that be very clear. Are there other software that is more capable or more powerful? Of course. Are there software that is even half as good as this? No. Like, what do I mean by that? Well, here's the deal. CAD and CAM has separated way too much from CNC, as in there are a lot of people who are working in Fusion 360, making Fusion 360. Cool. Here's the deal. Ask yourself, how many of them have actually done the thing? Not one of them. How many? Like, if there are 500 software engineers, 500 is a bit much. Let's just say 100 software engineer. How many of them, like, okay, this is my package. Let's just say I did this update. I'm going to go into a CNC machine and test it out. Every one of them. How many of them? That's the whole point. Hayden's is completely different. Every programmer who is working there to make that CAM software package has to see that. Like, hey, I'm working on it. Okay, go to the machine, deploy it, see what happens. So flat out, that gives them a closeness that is almost like a Apple cohesion, where the hardware team is actually working with the software team. It's like, hey, this is the hardware, this is the software, make them work together. So that tightening of the loop, because here's the deal, I have worked with Fuse 3D software. You may have heard of it, like Fusion 360. In the old days, 3ds Max, Maya, Blender, I touched it once, ZBrush, what other? Marmoset, Substance Designer, Substance Painter, all the game engines, Fuel, Diesel, Unreal 3D, Unreal 5, all those things. So I know 3D. I worked in 3D, I know 3D. The moment I touched Fusion 360 for the first time, when I used to be a game artist, I lost my brain cells. It was so bad, so difficult. Be mindful. I have worked with Autodesk product. I worked with other Autodesk product, but the moment I opened it, it's like, what the hell is this? CAM softwares are brutal. CAD softwares are brutal. And again, Fusion 360 actually has decent interface. And when I'm working with CV Engine, CV Global company, our designer, as in like the patent holder, Ron, Ron works in Siemens NX. I was like, okay, let's download a trial version of it. Let's see how it works. I lost all hope in humanity. How the heck Siemens NX is a software? $1 million software? It's like the software that exists in CAM industry. He says like very well, it's like it's 30 years old. It's built in an era where you had to learn for it. Like it's not a reach the UI layer of like, hey, the software should be intuitive. No, no, no. It's like you get certified on Siemens NX and then you work on Siemens. You get certified for SolidWorks and then you work with SolidWorks. It's like, it is bad. It is brutal. And this is what they are firing on. They are firing missiles directly on that. Not the quality, not the horsepower. We got this. We good. Heck, even FreeCAD, I'm pretty sure, is more than powerful enough. It's just that, is this software easy to use within the constraint of it? For example, making sure all the loop is closed, that matters. Meaning they made a CAM system, they made a GD&T data on it, this puppy. It's a hell of a puppy to deal with. You had the GD&T, you send it to CNC. How was the output? You send it to CMM. How was the output from CNN? You close the loop. You tighten your tolerance by that, like how the heck that works, and does the machine has enough what you call feedback loops to learn from its mistake? And yes, they have AI on that, so it can actually learn. The idea is, the early days they were getting like 15-16 errors per trial. After that, they have reached a point where it's like 5 or 6 or minor touches. So that's the whole point, complete close. And again, that's why they can trust that if my software knows like, hey, the drill bit will not last this long, so please stack up the drill bits. If it detects, hey, we do not have enough drill bits in the inventory, it will stop the project. It's like, bro, get drill bits. Again, this is small things, but these things create a choke point. Computer should know how worn the tools is. And AI does 80% of the thing, and they are not targeting on 100%, and that shows wisdom. They're like, hey, what is AI good of? Finding details in a large data sheet. Cool. Here's a PDF, crunch the data, give the data. The human individual, what is good at? Finding something off. 80% work done by AI and then double checked by other AI, and then you're like, you give it to human's like, whoa, 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 what the hell? So it solves the hallucination problem. So everything about this company is wise. It's almost like, I'm looking at Edison 2.0. So, and key focus is easy to use on newbies. The idea is you take out an individual, it's like, it could be bus driver, or there's a boy who's like, who worked with ceramics, clay pots. And he's like, yeah, come on in. And we're going to make you aerospace grade engineer. And actually did it. 30 days, that's their target. So that's the whole point of automation. If the automation is done in complete closed loop, as in like the software package, the CAM package, the everything else, they do not have to worry about anything else. So that's a very, what you call, unique sauce that no other company can just Control-C, Control-V. So what can we expect in the future? Well, here's the deal. This CEO gives me something unique that I have to say I barely see in CEOs, is that he has very high clarity of vision for the team. What we are doing. Very, very clear. It's almost like, again, Edison is the second one that I would say, that is like, this is what we are, this is what we are doing, this is how we are doing it, the end. So he has that sort of crispness with like, this is what we are, this is what we are solving, this is what we're doing. And I love this approach that he has. Is like, it's not about finding the best people, it's making them the best. Like, making the best of the best. And this approach was like, dude, you worked in machine shop, work here. It's like, bro, I do not have idea with coding. We're gonna work with you. It's just like this idea of like people working with each other, like, 2 plus 2, 22, emergent property. He's banking on that. Like literally having a company that is literally making aerospace part with like, NDA signed. And who is the one manning the machine? Oh yeah, he's the bus driver. He used to be a bus driver. I'm like, that opens up talent pool. Because, and again, what they are searching for in people is very clever. It's not searching for, oh, you have to have like 15 years of experience when you are born. No, it's like, are you curious? Are you have that itch that like, I need to dive deeper into it. That's all they are searching for. Because again, ideally, they would not need people. They will need people just to guide the situation. They're like, shepherding the AI machine, so to say. So they need clever people who need to expand their world. Not like, I know this machine, I can breathe this machine. Like, no. It's like, can I learn? Can I expand? They are hiring that. And focusing on creating meaningful job. That was very unique. It's like, no, but there are certain jobs that people don't want to do, obviously. But here's it, you need job. You need a meaningful job. Meaningful job means two things. First, it should not feel like a machine can do it, meaning it should not be, if this is the job, it's not desirable. So because of the fact that they are tool making factory, they're not making one thing millions of times. They're not like, okay, we are cranking out this, Model T millions of times. It's not that. So it is meaningful because you are getting stimulation of your brain, and because you have so much variability, so much vertical integration. So that part is sorted. Second, they're actually repairing America brick by brick, day by day, flat out. And again, those people have signed NDAs. I've also signed NDAs, but my NDAs are for video games. They have signed NDAs for jet engines, so a bit different. So again, that gives people like, hey, money itself is just half of the component. There are other components also. Meaningful job for people, that is very good. And again, they have very clear, it's like, hey, go home after 5, because again, if they cannot go home, again, once in a while that will happen, but if they cannot go home after 5, that means lights out system is not working. So flat out. And clear focus on deliverables rather than hype. And this is the only time I saw a CEO flat out saying, hey bro, we're gonna make factory 1, and we're gonna think okay, we learned everything from this Mark 2, we're gonna copy paste it in Mark 3 and everything will be fine. No, it won't. He flat out said, like, if we think we're gonna transfer 100% of the intelligence that we learned here, best case scenario is 40-50% would be transferred, and then that shakedown, like, okay, copy paste it from here to there, would teach us everything. And then by the time we do third time, now that will be like, okay, 70-80% is being transferred. Fourth or fifth time we'll reach is like, okay, now if you are making a factory, it will work. We have sorted out all the bugs. So the fact that they are focused on deliverables rather than hype is like, damn. And AI to do boring task. Like, they are actually doing what AI is good at. It's like, hey, AI, go through all the GD&T data and figure out what is the off part. Person will be like, fine tuning it. So doing the boring task, not replacing workforce. That's wise. It's like, hey, let's have people there. Let's have meaningful jobs. Let AI do what they do. AI is a turbocharger here. It's not the engine, turbocharger. And USA needs this badly, flat out. Like, the reality is, if China and USA goes boom boom with each other, USA will run out of everything very quickly. And again, Ukraine war kind of taught America that. So it's like, yeah, we do not have anything of anything anymore. And again, that will happen. If you keep outsourcing everything, eventually you realize you can't insource anymore. So flat out, it's bad for America. They need it. Another aspect is we also need it. For example, I'm working with CV Global. Why can't I just throw an engine at your face? This. Like, for example, this is our CAD model. There is a big hole. There is tiny screw hole. Cool. And again, tiny as in like it's a handholdable. There are 2 millimeter gap between this major one and this small one. 2 millimeter. Your 3D printer can reliably make something like this. And this is a CNC machine shop, a respected shop. And he's like, how the heck your drill bit can wander away from like mill? Sorry. A mill can wander for millimeters. Like, how that can happen? And again, I can't say this to anyone or any of our investors like, yeah, we can't give you an engine simply because our vendors is like trolling us. So I understand that. Like, this is needed. We have enough factories in India that's like, okay, this is everything. One thing, copy paste million times, we good, we got this. Make a new thing, you did. So basically, it's how everybody is relying on China, not because of like China's factories, because of PCB way, JSL PCB. The idea is, when you need to prototype, you need prototype rapid. You can't just like, okay, spend billions of dollars, then have a factory. That most people can't afford. So you need prototyping. China became very good at prototyping. And this sort of system allows America to become good at prototyping and building things. So that's the very clever. Everything about this company gives me a vibe of cleverness rather than, hype or AI or this or that. It's like, no, it's clever. It's like, what we are doing, this is how we are doing it. And we have done that. And by the way, their revenue has grown exponentially, which only happens on software, and they somehow managed to do it on machine. Now, to be fair, that only happened because America is kaput. So all the defense sector is like, bro, we need to meet ITAR and we need to meet these things. We have to have someone. Oh, you're charging 5 times more than China? Take it. But again, they are also delivering, so people are happy. Hey, you took 5x, but you gave me quickly. Shut up, take money. Again, they want to go back to this system. There used to be saying that America used to have brain, where it's like, hey, we need to make a torpedo. So they did not use mathematics. It's like, okay, which steel would be better? They used mathematics to come up with a rough idea. Then they found out which is the steel company that can provide that. Is there a steel company that can provide this much? Okay, use that to make it. Can you mass produce it or not? Every design, every weapon system was designed with that. As in like, do our factories can yield this puppy? Not this B-2 bomber where it's like, it's so bespoke, so useless. It's $2 billion. they're supposed to make hundreds of it. They gave up after 22. It's like, bro, we can't afford this. And again, that shows a loss of wisdom, where it's like you have to make sure that you can produce it or not. No matter how good one thing is, it's still one thing, one point of failure. So this is a very shocking growth that America needs desperately, and we also need to. If India needs to grow, we need this. So this was my presentation on this new way of building a nation. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike. Press it twice to show my extra disappointment. Please leave a comment, because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free. And as always, thanks for watching.